Good morning, guys. This is Jeff with HKS Systems Lock Safe. So we're going to be retrofitting today the Adams Right key and lever, and we're going to be switching that to the alarm lock PDL 1300. This model allows access system just right on the door. So we're going to show you how to retrofit that really quick from just the regular key to the access system. We have a couple different ways. First thing I'd like to point out is the Adams Right jig system is major. They actually sell this, so if you want to buy this and practice, they sell the whole piece of bar there, and you could actually buy that stand, and the stand allows you to route or install different stuff for practice, so you don't need to learn on the customer's door. That's, once again, manufacturer is major manufacturing. Good company. They sell some very good products. So let's get started. I'm going to pull this apart and I'll show you how to do the installation of the alarm lock PDL 1300 from regular cylinder to the access system. We'll be back in a second. Here's two jigs that we use for the alarm lock installation. This one is made by Major Manufacturing. It is the HIT 32AL3. It is designed specifically for the alarm lock 1200 series, 1300 series. It's a nice jig. It has centering sections for keeping true center. Nice hardened bushings for drilling through, so it'll never wear out. I truly bought that, and after I bought it, I tried another company's, and I think the other company's superior. In my book, this is probably better made, longer lasting for sure. The other company I have is Cathrons, which is made and sold by HL Flake. You can see they have a cylinder, so this system will do quite a bit of different things. It'll do the alarm lock just like this one, but it's a much simpler design. It'll also do the Adams Right paddles and actuators, and it's really neat that it's got this fake cylinder in there. Basically, you would put that in where your cylinder is on the lock, pull that cylinder out, screw that in, and then all you do is you are going to center it on the door. I'll show you that when we're getting into that. And then just do your little holes straight through. It's really simple. And this this setup is like 35 bucks, I think. This was close to 250 bucks. So definitely that's nicer overall. A little bit more, only one thing it can do, which is the alarm lock. This will do many different things, much cheaper, much quicker. Honestly, I don't even use this anymore. I think I may sell it, but this one I would definitely vouch. Cathrons is the company's name, and I'll leave a little link or picture in there. The HL Flake's the only company I see. They make other ones from this company. It does the Adams Right stuff, the paddles and things like that. So it's pretty neat. Great little install and time saver. So we'll be back. Alright guys, so here it is mounted. It's very simple. You would just put that plug in, put your set screw there. I'm going to put a level on here. My stand is definitely not level, so I just put a level on there, put it to the face of the door, make sure that's square. Then you could eyeball it. You could see another old-fashioned way of doing it is just take something, measure from edge to edge. Should be equal, and they are. So this model, all we're going to do then is drill A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then that goes straight through the door from one side to the other. The beauty of this is you don't even have to take the lock body out of the door. Do it while the door is still mounted, ready to roll. And we'll come back in a second and I'll show you how to do that. Okay guys, next step is to take those holes and drill straight through. A 3/16 is what I'm using. I'm also using the newer guide system that I have. I did a plastic one on the guide system. I just bought this one. I think I like this one a little bit better. It's obviously metal, so it's a much better, but it's also a little bit thinner. So it allows a little bit more depth penetration for the drill bit, and it's nice and allows the ability to, when you clamp it on and put the drill bit through, you can hold it with your hand. The other one was sort of cumbersome, but pretty neat. 25 bucks or something like that, but it's well made out of steel, I believe. That is the company Big Gator Tools. So check them out. Pretty cool little drill guide. So all I'm doing then basically is just drilling from one side to the other. Put the drill bit there from the face, drill straight through. There's nowhere for it to go other than straight. So I'll be back. Alright, so next step, we got all of our holes through here, and here, and here. All we're going to do then is enlarge these from a 3/16, a little bit bigger. All you're doing is basically getting a screw to go through from one side to another. So this one, just do to a 1/4 inch hole. I would say do all of them 1/4 inch holes. And then we'll screw it on, and I'll show you from the front. So from the front, the biggest hole you're going to have will be the bottom battery cover access screw. It needs to go only from one side, so as long as you could fit a screwdriver in from the inside, the outside head needs to clear that, so that needs to be a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch hole just to get that screw to go in there. The other ones are just smaller, so you could just basically put in a regular 1/4 inch hole should be fine, give you a little bit of play. So we'll get that done, but like I said, that middle one, which is down at the bottom of there, needs to be enlarged well above a 1/4 inch, probably a step or two above that. For these, I always just use a stepper bit. Unibit is the company that originated them, I believe, but stepper bit is what they're called. So quick and easy. Okay guys, the next step is to install your actuators. This is the part that ties into the lock body. You're going to need to know if you're a left hand or right hand. The easiest way to do it is from the outside. You're always going to want to retract the lock towards the hinge side. So I know mine is this one because it's basically every time it actuates, it's pulling the lock back towards the hinge side of the door. Depending on, I guess, if your door swings in or out, but typically they swing out in commercial applications. So simple enough. They are not handable, so they ship with one of each from the factory. So I'd always say keep them. They're a pretty expensive little part. I think they're like 45-50 bucks for those little cams. So you get two with every lock. You're obviously only going to need one. Put the other one in stock for the rainy day when one fails. Okay guys, so the next step we have is we need to bolt it on the door. They come with 2 metal plates, 4 screws, and then these are cover plates that you just slide over those that they always seem to pop off. I don't know what the deal is. When I put them on, I always put them on, and then I'll take a center punch and punch both sides to try to lock them on there. But whenever I come back, they always seem to be disappearing. It's just a cosmetic cover, so it's not that crucial. You're going to mount it on the door, making sure that your tailpiece is going to go into the cam that you've already installed on the door. All right, we'll be back in a bit. Alright guys, so we're just tightening these up. One thing I can tell you, being a locksmith, don't always go crazy tightening things. Leave them just finger loose, because locks aren't always perfectly made. So you always want to leave them a little loose so you could hand fit everything. So we're going to put the plate in the bottom there, and then you put the plate on the top up here, and leave everything a little loose until you're ready to do the final fit finish, and then tighten everything up in the end, because if you try to tighten things, sometimes screws are misaligned, and at the end of the day, doors aren't always perfect. Locks are for sure not always perfect. So leave things a little bit loose before you tighten everything up. Alright, so we got the plates all mounted. That set screw in the center, this one's, I just didn't open it that wide. You just need a little small screwdriver. So that set screw that was larger in size is screwed out, and then that allows the battery cover panel to be moved. And then once you tighten it up, it stays up in the upper position. So it's very simple. You don't need to actually make that any bigger than just a little tiny screwdriver that can fit in there. And it's not under a lot of pressure. It's just literally finger tight. So that's it. We're going to put the covers on. We'll give you the test. Alright guys, we're back. So we've got everything mounted. Essentially we went from a raw piece of aluminum. We routed in a new lock body assembly, new lever set for the inside, new lever set and access system for the outside. If you don't know, this is the alarm lock PDL 1300. It uses 2,000 users, has onboard ports for programming, HID card reader as well, so you could use codes, cards, or conjunction of both if you really wanted to do that. Some of the businesses we do have a dual custody where one person will have the code, one person will have the card. You could put either in, it won't unlock it until you use them in tandem with each other. So you have to put the code in, somebody will follow up with their card. That means you're sure that there's always two people in. These situations are usually cash counting rooms, so that's something that's really neat. And overall, it's a very simple system. You would put the factory codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that allows you to gain entry. Retracts that. Once the 5 seconds is up, push it in, and it relocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, unlocks. Once it's relatched, doesn't do anything. Has a key override. So if all the electronics failed for some reason, or your batteries went dead, or never really know what happens, just put the key in, turn it, turns it into a mechanical lock at that point. So no problems there. And then obviously there's always the ability to exit from the building with the paddle. And then that also allows you to set schedules, users, functions, different oddball stuff, anything you want with the onboard programming. You do need a specialized cord and a laptop to do that, but it's pretty simple. I usually just do it for the people on the initial startup, and then I like when they take it over. If not, I could always service it, but I have to charge you to come out and do that. I would rather have you do it. That way you don't have to pay me. Not that I don't want to see people, but I don't necessarily need to come out just to program or change a user code. It's sort of sometimes simpler for you to do it. So I will be doing a video on that in the future for programming. This is the Adams Wright, the 4700 series, which is when the dead butt latch is is pushed in and outside the pocket. You can see that mechanically locks it, and then you can't unlock it until you either put a code in or the ability to egress. The one downside on this, there's only one downside I've seen so far. If you put a code in and it allows you to go and gain access into the building, but if you need the ability to come and go during the day, you can do that. Unfortunately, there's no way to dog these back during the day. There is an ability to put a push paddle system in from Adams Wright, and you push the paddle down and then you do a hex key from the inside, so it would allow you that to stay open the whole time. Or there's another way. you can do it from the factory. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AL, and then the function is 45 AL 4 5 star. And you can see that allows us to come and go all day long. So basically turns it into a passage mode during the day. So you could leave that open all day long until you tell it, if you want the schedule, which you could put schedules in here to override that to shut it off at 5 o'clock. You could also tell it to lock and unlock itself at certain times if you want to do that. Some of the places we deal with, they allow it between 7 and 7:30. The door will open. Between 11 and 12:30, the door will open, and then it'll automatically lock at about 5 o'clock. So it'll allow people to come and go in the morning, but it'll keep the door secured the rest of the times, and they don't have to supply credentials to everybody in the building because it'll stay open by itself. Guys, I forgot to show you, since we have it in bypass mode right now for passage mode, I forgot to show you how to get that out of there. So you would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AL 4 6 star, and that'll take it out of passage mode. Then you hold any button down, it'll go out of programming. It's just one of these things that may sound like it's complicated, but it does come with a really good user's manual, and it's pretty simple once you've done it for quite a long time. The neat thing on this is their whole line basically shares the same kind of programming language, so once you learned it, you could do any of their lines, anything from the keypad systems to the mortise locks to the standalones to the front doors to the really oddball stuff. But if you needed service for that, HKS Systems Lock and Safe, 847-204-7046. We could definitely give you a quote on this. These right now as stands, depends on the model you have, where you're located, but roughly $1,000 and up. So let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. 847-204-7046. Thanks.